This is an inference question. The argument does not have any conclusion and the missing link is not required. Our broad expectation from the correct answer choice is that it should be duly deducible from the information presented in the argument without any assumption or extrapolation. Also note that the argument talks about automated billing and its effect on students' miscellaneous expenses and students' miscellaneous stationery expenses. Please note that miscellaneous stationery expenses would be a part of all miscellaneous expenses. So this answer choice only deals with proportion of miscellaneous stationery expenses as part of miscellaneous expenses and has no reference to any absolute number of expenses. This observation is important in solving this question correctly. Let's look at the answer choices. Answer choice A, the argument makes no suggestion regarding entertainment expenses. So this answer choice, which talks about these expenses, cannot be inferred. So let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice B, the argument mentions that more automation leads to less spending on miscellaneous expenses. Whereas this answer choice says that less automation leads to less spending on miscellaneous expenses. So this answer choice directly opposes the fact mentioned in the argument. So this answer choice cannot be inferred. Let's eliminate it. Answer choice C, the argument talks about automation and its effect on miscellaneous expenses as well as miscellaneous stationery expenses. The passage makes no suggestion regarding the number of students that use this kind of automation. So this answer choice, which deals with the number of students, cannot be inferred. So let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice D, the argument talks about automation and its effect on miscellaneous expenses as well as miscellaneous stationery expenses. The passage doesn't suggest any direct relationship between miscellaneous expenses and miscellaneous stationery expenses in general. So this answer choice, which tries to establish such a relationship by stating that higher miscellaneous expenses are related to more miscellaneous stationery expenses. Such a relationship cannot be established from the argument. So let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice E, the argument mentions that with more automation, the spending on miscellaneous expenses is reduced. The argument also mentions that at the same time, more automation leads to more spending in miscellaneous stationery expenses. If this is so, combining these two pieces of information, we can say that more automation leads to lower miscellaneous expenses but higher miscellaneous stationery expenses. Because miscellaneous stationery expenses are a part of miscellaneous expenses, it can be inferred that the overall base, that is miscellaneous expenses, is reducing and a part of those expenses, that means miscellaneous stationery expenses, is increasing. In other words, it can be inferred that more automation increases the share of miscellaneous stationery expenses among all miscellaneous expenses. The flip side of the same is that less automation indicates smaller the proportion of miscellaneous stationery expenses in overall miscellaneous spending. So this answer choice can be inferred. E is the correct answer choice.